欢迎大家继续回来跟我一起学习。那么下面的第二部分，我们就来看一下第3和第5题。我们来看一下第10套题的第3题。那么第3题呢，我们都是要阅读一段材料，然后再听一段听力的。我们来先看一下材料，在材料啊，一定要抓住 who, what and why， 对不对？所以说先抓一下。The university is currently considering possible locations on campus for displaying paintings and other artworks by students. I think the lobby at the entrance to the student center will be a great location, since many students pass through the student center every day. Artworks displayed in the lobby will be viewed by hundreds of people. Also, because the whole front of the building is made of glass window, the lobby is filled with natural light. This makes it perfect for displaying our works, which should have plenty of light to be seen and appreciated. 我们看一下题目的要求，同样的还是要先总结一下咱们的 reading material 里面的内容，然后呀再说出另外一个人呢对这个观点的一个看法，然后给出那个人的一个意见。那么知道了题目的要求以后呢，咱们一定要准备好，现在开始听听力了。
Now listen to two students discussing the letter.
Mary, you're an art student. What do you think of this letter?
I don't like the idea.
Why not?
Well, first of all, his first point about a lot of people passing through the student center, that's true, but it's always really crowded with people coming and going. It's not good for showing artwork. Imagine you're standing there, trying to look at a painting. There's going to be like a million people walking through. People walking in front of you, blocking your view, distracting you.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
You won't be able to appreciate the artwork or get a good look at anything with so much going on, with so many people moving around.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
Plus, he's wrong about the windows.
But isn't it true that it's good for art to have lots of light?
In a sense, yeah. But that kind of light, all that natural light from windows, that's actually not good. Because if it's really sunny out, it'll be way too bright. If it's cloudy, it'll be way too dark.
Oh.
What you want is controlled light, consistent light, the kind you get from electric light bulbs. Think about in an art museum. In an art museum, you've got electric lighting, and the light is always carefully controlled, always at the same level.
好的，听完了听力，大家有没有按照那个模式来一起作答呢？那么首先呢，咱们要先总结一下咱们的 reading material 里面那个男士他的观点是什么。In the letter, the student proposes to put the artworks in the lobby at the entrance to the student center, because the center has many students and is full of natural light. But the girl in the conversation doesn't agree with it. 那么一定要表示出来，这个人的观点是什么？那么后面就是他的一个理由了。For the first point about many students passing through student center, she thinks the number of students coming and going is huge, which could be distracting for people to view the artworks. The center is always crowded with people. It's hard to appreciate the artworks with so many people around. 那么这是第一点。For the second point about natural light, she thinks it's not very good. If it's a sunny day, it will be way too bright. If it's a cloudy day, it will be way too dark. Instead, the artworks need constant light, like the electric light in an art museum, because the electric light is always carefully controlled, and it stays at the same level. 所以说就总结了出来，她这个女士对那个男士的观点是怎么样一个意见，要分 the first and the second， 会让你的答案非常的结构清晰。我们再来看一下第11套题的第3题，同样的还是先读一下 reading material. Over the last 10 years, the number of Central College students living on campus in dormitories has decreased by 20%. In an effort to counteract the trend, the college has announced a plan to renovate its on-campus housing. 看到这个大学要重新装修了。The renovations will take 2 years, and they will include improvements to the bathrooms, lighting, and heating in the dormitories. A lot of people are moving off campus because the dorms aren't in great shape, explained the college president. By renovating the dorms, we can make them more appealing than off-campus housing, and more students will choose to remain on campus. 那么这段材料里面啊，就说了这个学校打算开始重新装修了，然后给出了他认为这么做的一个原因。那么后面也要跟随一段听力，上面叙述的是啊一个人对这个做法的一个看法。那么我们来阅读一下这个题目的要求。同样的，看到这个题目以后呀，我们知道我们的答案要分3步走。第一步呢，先总结一下 reading material 里面谁要做什么，又出于什么原因。第二步呢，就要表述出啊这个人的观点，然后给出他给出的原因。那么知道这样一个题目要求以后呀，我们先一起来听一下听力。
Now listen to two students discussing the college's plan.
The college is making a mistake with this new plan.
What do you mean? I think it'll really help accomplish the college's goals.
Don't be so sure. All that construction for 2 years, it's going to create a lot of noise.
Well, you mean in the beginning, for students still living in the dorms?
Yeah, students who are trying to sleep or do work are constantly going to be disturbed. So people will try to get as far away as possible, probably by moving off campus. So they'll lose even more people.
Huh, I hadn't thought of that. But still, once all the construction's over, more people will probably want to live in the dorms, right? I mean, the living conditions will be so much better.
If they can afford to. Do you know how the college is planning on paying for this plan? By raising the cost of campus housing.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so if it's more expensive, why would people want to move back into the dorms if they can rent an apartment for less money?
好了，听力听完了，大家有没有抓住一些 keywords 呢？我们来一起参考一下这个答案。The college is planning to renovate the dormitories in order to attract more students to remain on campus. The woman thinks the plan is a mistake. 一定要指出来。The woman says the constructions will create too much noise and will constantly disturb students who are now living on campus. So it's possible that more students will choose to live off campus. She also says that the new campus housing is going to cost more because the college plans to use the students' housing fees to pay for the renovations. So students won't be able to afford to live on campus. They may still choose to rent an apartment off campus. So the college may not achieve its goal to attract more students to remain on campus. 那么最后进行了一个总结，表述出啊为什么学校根本就达不到它的这样一个目的，这个答案就是非常完整的了。我们来看一下第5题啊。那么第10套题里面的第5题啊是这样一个题目，我们先来审一下。Briefly summarize the woman's problem, then state which solution you would recommend. Explain the reasons for your recommendation. 那么通常第5题啊都是会有一个人遇到一个问题啊，我们发现啊都是一些女性啊比较纠结，然后他们的问题咱们总结出来以后啊，还要再总结一下别人给他提的建议，那么1、2摆出来，那么选择一条建议，说一说自己能说得通的那条 solution 就可以了。那么审完题以后呀，我们先来一起听一下听力。
Listen to a conversation between two students.
Is there a problem with the electricity?
Yeah, this storm's knocked out power all over the city. And they're saying it might be several hours before we have electricity again.
Oh no, I have a history paper due tomorrow, and I've been writing it on my laptop computer and the battery's running low. I'm going to need electricity soon.
Well, you know, Jefferson City still has electricity, and there's a library there where you can plug in your laptop. You could go over there and work on your paper. It's only about a 20-minute drive.
That's a good idea. Of course, I'd have to pack up all my stuff, and it is raining outside.
Yeah, that's true. Well, why don't you just ask the professor for an extension? You know, tomorrow when you go to class, just ask him if he'd give you an extra day to get the paper done. I'm pretty sure he'd agree, you know, with the storm and all.
Yeah, that'd sure be a lot easier. But then he did tell us when he gave us the assignment that he wouldn't grant any extensions.
You don't think he'd grant an exception in this case?
I'm not sure. It's a little risky. He might just say that we shouldn't have waited until the last minute.
Yeah, but maybe if other students have the same problem, you might be able to convince him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not our fault the electricity went out.
好了，听力听完了，大家有没有抓住一些比较关键的词呢？我们来看一下这个答案啊，咱们一起参考一下。首先啊，第一个是把这个问题的纠结处说出来。The woman has a history paper due tomorrow, and she has been writing it on her laptop. The electricity went out, and the battery is running low. What's worse, the electricity won't be back before several hours. The man suggests her to go to Jefferson City. It's got electricity, and there is library where she can plug in her laptop, and it's only about 20 minutes drive. But then she has to pack up all her stuff, and it's raining outside. Then the man gives another suggestion, that she can just go to ask the professor for an extension. But the woman says the professor said he didn't grant any extensions when he assigned the paper. 那么下面呢，就是我们要推荐哪一种了。Well, I would recommend the girl to drive to Jefferson City. Though she has to pack her stuff and it's raining outside, finding a place to finish her paper is the most important thing to do. As a student, 陈述一下原因 she has the responsibility to finish the homework. Accident caused by weather is not an excuse for not finishing homework on time. 这就非常符合咱们的通常人的逻辑了哈，一定要完成作业。我们再来看一下第11套题的第5题，同样的呀，又是一个比较纠结的一个问题。Discuss a problem and 2 possible solutions. 同样的，我们要先总结一下这个问题是什么，然后2个 solution 是什么，我们支持哪一种，给出我们的原因，所以3步走依旧是这样子的。我们一起来先听一下听力。
Now listen to a conversation between 2 students.
By the way, Frank, I heard you got a summer research position with Professor Davis.
Uh-huh, but I've got a problem.
Oh?
Yeah, well, since I didn't hear from her for so long, I assumed I didn't get the position, so I didn't apply for a dorm room for the summer. I'm afraid it's too late for that now.
Yeah, the deadline for campus housing applications has already passed. So what are you going to do now?
Well, I can stay with my parents. They live 2 hours from here, and so I thought I could drive and commute to campus every day. I know my mom and dad would be happy to have me over for a few weeks, and most of my old friends will be home for the summer, so in a way it'd be fun.
Yeah, I understand. But you'd spend quite a bit of time on the road going back and forth. Won't you get tired?
Yeah, that thought did cross my mind. The other thing I could do is rent an apartment off campus. Besides being much closer to work, I'd also save tons of money on gas.
Uh-huh. But then you'd have to pay rent.
I know. There's always something, isn't there?
好的，听力听完了，我们先来一起学习一下这个答案，看看它有什么好处，有什么不足之处。The man has got a summer research position on campus, but he didn't apply for a dorm room for the summer, and it's too late to apply now. In the conversation, they talk about 2 possible solutions. 那么第一个 The first one is that the man can stay with his parents and commute to campus every day. His parents will be happy to have him home, and many old friends will come back home for the summer vacation. But it's a little tiring to drive on the road. 那么第二个 The second solution is to rent an apartment near campus. It saves time and gas fee, but still the man has to pay for the rent. Well, I would recommend. 那么这个地方啊，就凸显出我们要说自己的观点了。大家可以学习一下这样的一个句式。The man to choose the first solution, since his parents are happy to live with him, and he can meet many old friends. Why not stay with his parents? Even it's tiring to drive, he can save the money for the rent. 那么这个地方啊，就阐释出，应该同意这个男士啊，跟他的父母一起住，既可以见父母呢，又可以见自己的很好的一些朋友，那么同样还可以省下一些钱。其实这一条啊，算是比较好说的，大家就选啊自己思路比较多的，后面的解释呢，也不需要花太多时间，只需要1-2句即可，所以只要 make sense 就可以了。然后以上呢，就是第2部分的全部内容，非常感谢。